I am the Markman, and today we are going to unbox all my remaining My Hero Academia figures and statue. MHA is actually on my top 5 list of my favorite animes of all time, together with Hunter x Hunter, of course Dragon Ball, then Yu Yu Hakusho, and Voltes 5. And you know what? It's fine now, because I am here.
I got this.
We will start with the 7-inch figures of McFarlane, starting with the 2-pack of All for One and All Might. Then Shota, who has a hero named Eraserhead. Then when All Might retired, Endeavor became the #1 hero. And he also has a 5-inch figure, also from McFarlane. Then his son, Shoto. Then the hero killer, Stain. Then Mirio, who has a hero named Lemillion. And then Tenya Ida, who is also known as Ingenium. And he has a statue from Bandai. And lastly, my favorite villain, Shigaraki. And then we have 2 new figures from McFarlane. We have Overhaul and also Hawks. However, I'm going to unbox this in a separate video. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Then welcome to the Markverse! There were already some figures which I opened before. The very first My Hero Academia figure I bought was McFarlane's Ida with a hero named Ingenium. Then the single pack of All for One. Then we have Deku, the main character of the anime. He has a flight stand. Red Riot, that has a hardening quirk. Then Stain, which is currently my favorite McFarlane MHA figure so far. You can see the details of this. It's so fantastic. Even the sculpt of his face, it's great. Then Lemillion. And I also have one Ingenium Banpresto Bandai statue. Which get the character of Ingenium. Honestly, I did not really notice that I am already collecting MHA figures. I love the anime and this is the outcome of it. We are going to unbox 3 batches. First batch is the 7-inch scale of McFarlane, Eraserhead, Endeavor, and the 2-pack of All Might and All for One. The All for One figure is the same with the single box. Then the second batch is the McFarlane 5-inch scales, Endeavor, Shoto, Tenya Ida, who is also known as Ingenium, then Lemillion, who has a real name, Mirio, Togata, and Stain. And lastly, Bandai's Ingenium and Shigaraki. Let's unbox! Let's start with the 7-inch scales. Again, we have Shota Isawa or Eraserhead, who is very reserved, which is too obvious just by looking at his face. He has a quirk that can suspend the quirks of people he looks at as long as he does not blink, then it won't deactivate. He has a base, an alternate scarf, and an alternate head. Isawa's quirk cannot hurt his opponent, so this scarf, which is made of special materials, serves as his weapon. So this is bendable. Then for the alternate head, when Eraserhead uses his quirk, his hair floats upward. For the goggles, this is used to cover his eyes, especially if there are multiple opponents, so that they won't see where Eraserhead looked, and even he already blinked. So let's change the head and scarf. I like this better. Then Enji Todoroki, or more known as Endeavor. Like I said earlier, he's now the #1 hero after All Might retired. He can produce fire, and his quirk is called Hell Flame. So these translucent effects are flame. On his boots, on his shoulders, and on his face. Nice beard, by the way. He has these accessories. So, of course, the base stand and this separate fire effect. So we can see a peg, which means we need to look for a peg hole. So it is on his back. It's logical if it's going to be on his feet because it's the base that will go there. So let's put this effect. Okay. So now his head is surrounded by a flame. So where's All Might? I am here. Thank you, All Might, and his real name is Toshinori Yagi. The first time I saw him, it reminded me of Captain America, and before he had superhuman strength, he's very fast and he can even jump for miles. There are many times I got teary-eyed in watching MHA, and one of those is when All Might used the remaining embers of One for All to defeat All for One. And because of this, All Might lost his powers, which led him to retire. So this is a very good figure. I cannot see any paint issues. The design is great. It doesn't have any accessories except this base. Then All Might's archenemy, All for One. His quirk, he can steal the quirks of others and can even transfer those stolen quirks to others as well. So you can imagine how formidable he is because his quirk could be diverse. I already got the same figure a year ago. It's really the same figure except this one is from a single pack. I like the design of his right arm, but this is actually very heavy, so posing it will be a challenge. A lighter material should have been used because it is tilting to his right. There was another all-for-one design, but I like this better. Then for the 5-inch scale figures, let's start with Ingenium. Let's also get the 7-inch scale figure. So this is Tenya Ida, and he came from a prestigious hero family. Actually, his hero name Ingenium was originally used by his older brother Tensei, but when Stain seriously injured Tensei, he was forced to retire, and that was the time Tenya took the hero name. He has an engine quirk. This enables him to move very fast, and he's also the class representative of 1A. So this is a very neat figure. Aside from that, he has a good body symmetry for both the 7 and 5-inch scale. Tenya is slim, and he is around 5'10" and a half. So I guess this scaling is correct. Then Mirio, who has a hero named Lemillion. Let's also get the 7-inch scale figure. So I'm going to be straightforward on this. The 7-inch scale figure is one of my worst figure because of its articulation. I won't go anymore to the exact details, but generally its joints are stiff and I can't tilt his head back. So that's unfortunate because I love the personality of Lemillion. I like the 5-inch figure better. So what's his quirk? It's permeation. He could permeate and make himself intangible. So I like his smile. Then Endeavor. It is understandable that this scale is not as articulated like the 7-inch scale, but I still like this figure. I like the design. If you look closely, his costume has a pattern. Then the translucent parts, like the 7-inch scale, is nice as well. This is Shoto, the youngest son of Endeavor. He can create both flame and ice. The ice quirk, he got that from his mom, so his quirk is a combination of the quirks of both his parents. We have translucent parts of the figure, the ice, and flames that are generating from his hands. The upper left portion of his face got burned when his mother threw boiling water on his face, but I wish that he had a different shading for that burned part of his face and the left side of his hair. Then there's also another 5-inch scale of Shoto wearing their UA uniform, but I like this figure better. Then the hero killer, Stain. If he drinks or ingests the blood of others, he can immobilize them immediately. That is his quirk. Let's get the 7-inch scale figure. In order to cut his opponent and get their blood, he has a sword and other bladed weapons. Both the 5 and 7-inch scales have the same design, except the 5-inch figure does not have any accessories. So if we look at the details of this figure, we can see those bladed weapons. though these are not movable. Same thing with the 7-inch scale figure. So as you can see, has these knives and other bladed weapon. Actually, I do not understand this. I have my McFarlane Last Airbender collection and they have accessories. So why not give accessories to these figures as well? I don't know. So I hope in the future McFarlane does give them accessories like what they did with the Last Airbender figures. Among all the MHA figures, this 7-inch scale is my favorite because of its great sculpting, the details of this figure, it's great. For me, the stain figure is the best MHA McFarlane figure. But I love both the 5-inch and 7-inch scale figure. For Banpresto or Bandai, these are collectible statues. For Ingenium, there are 6 parts. We have 2 for the stand. Then for the body, we have 4. We have the head, the upper torso, then from the lower torso to the right leg and foot, and the left leg to its foot. Then for Shigaraki, it has 6 parts as well. The upper part of his body, the left and right hand, then the hand of his father, which we are going to put later to cover his face, the lower part of his body, and last, the base. So now, let's connect all these parts. Like I said, he's my favorite character. His quirk, decay, because anything or anyone he touches will decay. Shigaraki has a very sad backstory. It's also one of those that gave me teary eyes. When he was still a very young boy, his quirk is not a gift, but rather a curse. What happened to his family is heartbreaking, especially for him. The sadness, the trauma as a kid, is really pitiful. Shigaraki has a grayish blue hair color, same as this statue, so that's accurate. Very good. The hood, the back of his trench coat, I like how the coat floats based on his pose. He's ready to use his quirk here. You can even see how the hand is open. He's ready to use his quirk. His legs are ready as well. Some parts of the coats are bendable, which is better because these could easily break since these are edges. I like the details and I'm happy with this statue. Let's have a closer look. Great facial sculpt. I'm afraid I might hit Shigaraki and fall since he's on my side, so let us just put him here. Banpresto's figures could easily break. Let's go back to Ida. I really love that expression on his face. Since Ida has engines on his cubs, you can imagine how powerful his kick could be. Here, we can see his high kick. The problem here, I guess, is I might not be able to fit this on my display cabinet because of his height. They chose a great pose. No paint issues here, and the white color is a little shiny, which I like because that is really the feature of Ida's armor. Let's also get his other Banpresto statue. So these are the Banpresto's Bandai statues. The good thing about My Hero Academia is that there are so many colorful characters, both heroes and villains. Even the not so main characters are still given screen time. Some anime only focuses on a handful of characters, but in MHA, that's not the case. And this is the reason why I love the show, hence why I collect its figure. You don't need to leave Earth or visit the multiverse because on Earth alone, the writer already utilized well its setup wherein 80% of the population of the world have powers or quirks so they can really expand and their imagination could be limitless. I already started my journey in collecting MHA figures and statues, and I'm really looking forward to the upcoming years to expand my collection. So if you enjoyed the video, click the thumbs up button, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to push that notification button since I publish new videos every week. Again, I am the Markman. Thank you for visiting the Markverse, and always remember to pay it forward with kindness.